Hey there, this is Dale Gudici with My Vitality Reboot. Thanks for coming to the channel. Thanks for watching this video. This video is about, I guess, my health journey in the last 10 years or so. Now, give you some perspective. In about 3 weeks, I'll turn 69. I'm recording this in April of 2026. The last 10 years, I've seen some major changes, way more gray hair, and just other physical changes as well. So for those of you that are in your 50s and you want to kind of get a look at what's going to transpire for you down the road, trust me, I've got some things to share with you today. But for those of you that are already in the throes of what I'm about to talk about, I've got some things that I changed that I think are going to do you a lot of good, okay? So I just to give you some background, I've always been the kind of guy, I played sports in high school. I was not the guy, right? But I was on the team, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. I mean, if I could have played sports my whole life, played sports for a living, I didn't need to be a millionaire. Just make a living playing sports, it would have been the greatest thing ever. But wasn't that talented, or wasn't that big either. But I loved it. And so I got it. I just wanted to stay working out. I wanted to stay close to athleticism, that sort of thing. You probably know what I'm talking about. So I did that all my life, right? And then when I hit, let's say 60, I was still working out in the house. I went to the gym from time to time, but I really had a workout routine that and some weights and a bench and so forth that I used at the house. We lived about a mile and a half from the beach in Florida at the time, so I would run down and run back, a nice 3-mile run down the hill and then back up. It was a really good run, and I was, in my early 60s. Something happened along the way. I developed kidney cancer, and I had to have one of my kidneys removed, and that seemed to shift everything for me. It was a long recovery coming back. I lost, 35 pounds. Not just from the surgery, but from the recovery of the surgery. 6 weeks, just kind of walking up and down in front of my house is about the best I could do. But then getting back into the gym and so forth. I lost a lot of weight, a lot of muscle mass. And I think that shocked my system and it sort of shocked my body. But that's okay. I recovered from that. And thank goodness, no signs of cancer. It's 8 years after that surgery. So I'm going strong, okay? So really where this story changes is that I was in the gym working out, not seeing any results. So there's a guy named Vince. He does V-Shred. You maybe seen him all over YouTube, all over Facebook. I think he's a great guy, got a great program. I signed up for the program and I started doing the V-Shred program, which a lot of it was HIIT training and weight combined with weight training. HIIT training combined with weight training. And I started doing that. This was just a few years ago. I started doing that particular training because my belly was starting to protrude. Like I felt like I was bloated all the time, and I didn't understand why. I mean, my diet was like my diet always has been. It was not, strictly vegan or any kind of, particular practice like that, but or diet like that. But I ate healthy. I did have some alcohol from time to time, but pretty much I had the same diet as I always had, but my belly started to bloat, to protrude. I started getting, dad bod, maybe granddad bod, right? It was just like, what's happening here? And then the thing that broke the camel's back was I started getting some man boobs here, to be honest, right? Like I was looking kind of swollen and not fat necessarily, but just had a lot more to my body than I always had before, doing the exact same things I was doing before. So I started this V-Shred program, and I went at it pretty hard. 3 to 4 days a week, took some days off in between, didn't really adjust my diet or any of that at that point. And I wasn't getting any results. I was working my butt off at the gym. If you know what HIIT training is, high intensity interval training, I was coming home with a sweat, right? And again, I'm in my, at this point, mid 60s, and I'm working my tail off, and I was not getting the results that I thought I was going to get based on these ads that were on Facebook and YouTube. And I got discouraged, and I hit a wall physically, and I just stopped working out. So I let it go for a little bit, and we moved. We moved from Florida to now beautiful Western North Carolina last year, and they have a local gym. I joined the local gym, and I started hitting the gym hard again. Not so much on the HIIT. I realized at this age I cannot do the HIIT training that the V-Shred program puts out there. It's just too much, too hard of a push on my body. So I slowed that down a little bit, but I was hitting the gym pretty hard. And again, not getting the results that I was looking for. So I started to take a step back, and I said, listen, I got to rethink this thing. It may be me working out like I used to, hard, going hard on the weights, going hard on the cardio. It's just not what I should be doing at this point. And it's not something that I really wanted to accept, to be honest with you. I like going hard. I don't know if some of you might understand what I'm saying. In football, I used to love, hitting and going hard and all that. I loved it, right? And so that's just my mentality. And so it was hard for me to kind of give up and have this thought process to say, well, I got to slow it down. But I did. So there was a few things that I ended up changing as I did my research. Number one, I slowed the HIIT way down. I think I've already said that. I slowed the HIIT way down. I go to the gym still 6 days a week. Mostly, and sometimes it's 5, but mostly 6 days a week. And I do a weight training day, a certain parts of my body. And then the next day is my, let's call it cardio. And I'll explain that in a second. Then I do another part of my body weight training, cardio, another part of my body weight training, take a day off, and then start it up all over again. So the cardio part, what I really have slowed it down to is just I do a form of HIIT, like at this point, a very modified HIIT training. So I'll give you an example. This morning at the gym, I was on the elliptical, and I do a couple minutes of warm up, and I always warm up before I get on the elliptical, but also warm up on the elliptical for a couple of minutes. Then I'll do 45 seconds of hard. Now, what I mean by hard is I put the level up to about 15, right? So the normal level for most people, I guess, is probably 4 to 8 or something. I go to 15, and it's hard. It's hard grinding those pedals, right? So I do that for about 45 seconds, and then I put the level back down to about a 5 or a 6, and it's nice and easy, and I do that. Now, my heart rate gets up to about somewhere in the high 90s or, low 100s. That's about where I want to keep things, man. I communicated with a friend of mine from high school about working out. Do you still work out? Right? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I get my heart rate up to the 140s. I'm like, dude, I think he said 147. I'm like, yeah, 147. I'm not going there at this point. So I'm good with about getting up to 120, 125 is about it. So with the elliptical, I'm getting my heart rate into the low 100s, 104, 108, something like that. Okay. So that's what I do. And I do that for 30 minutes, and then I do a nice stretch. I do some things for balance to make sure it's more for my head, to make sure my mind and my body are connected on the balance thing. Got a friend of mine that just fell. He's 60, my age. He fell, went to lean on his office desk. The desk moved, the office chair. The chair moved, and he fell, and he hit his head on the desk, and it was hospital time and the whole thing. So balance, right? So I have that part. So there's that. So I slowed the cardio way down. What that has done for me is it's lowered my cortisol level. Now, this is a major point here in what I'm talking about today, is lowering the cortisol level. When I was doing the heavy HIIT, and I was doing the heavy weights as well, and I'm still doing fairly heavy weights, but When I was doing all of that and not really giving my body a break, my cortisol levels stayed really, really high. I never gave my body a chance to recover, fully recover. And it also affected my sleep. I don't know if you all, a lot of my friends that are my age have sleep issues. And one of the issues is cortisol levels, right? So pay attention to that, research that, get on ChatGPT, go to your doctor, get some blood work done, and see what your cortisol levels are, right? You want to keep them, as low as possible. So that helped out. So that was a big part of it, is lowering what I did from this standpoint at the gym. The next thing was my diet. Okay, now I've always had a good diet. I felt like, in fact, at one point I was vegan, and it helped a lot, but I missed the meat, so I've come back to it. But so I've always been conscious of my diet, is the point. But I've really become conscious of the foods that I eat from the standpoint of what fuel I need for this body at 69 years old right now. And the key is protein. I didn't realize protein. So when I go to the gym in the morning, before that, I have a couple of cups of coffee. That's it. I do hydrate. I do drink about 16 ounces of water in the morning as well. That's before the gym. I bring a bottle of water at the gym, and I have a certain electrolytes that I use that I'll talk about in a second. And I go to the gym and I work out and I come home. Okay. When I come home, what I eat for breakfast every day now is a whey protein. A whey protein. This is Elevation. It comes. We buy it at Aldi. We shop at Aldi, so we buy it at Aldi, and we also get hard-boiled eggs, and that is at the grocery store sort of next door to Aldi called Ingles. And again, I'm in Western North Carolina. So Ingles and Aldi. So those are things you can get at the grocery store. Hard-boiled eggs. Why? 2, protein, clean protein. Okay, and whey protein. So the protein from the eggs, the protein from the shake. That's what I have in the morning, and I have nothing else. The other thing I learned is no snacking. I have nothing else until lunchtime. Nothing else until lunchtime. What do I have for lunch? I cook, again, at Ingles, I go and I get 2 packages of boneless, skinless chicken breast, and I cook them up for the week. And I have a chicken breast and some vegetables that usually we have left over from last night or the night before, some green vegetables, string beans, broccoli, etc., that we have in the fridge left over. That's what I have for lunch. That's all I have for lunch. I have a chicken breast and I have some vegetables. That's it. Nice protein and a nice vegetable for my body. Good fuel, clean fuel, no fat type of thing. And then in the evening, and again, no snacking from lunch to, that's the key, right? No snacking from lunch to dinner. At dinner, we have some more protein typically. We'll have steak. We'll have a fish. So last night we had some nice ahi, which was great. So steak, fish, or pork. And I stay away from chicken at dinner only because I'm having chicken every day for lunch. That's it. Now, I do cheat once in a while at night. Now, you really shouldn't eat a whole lot after dinner. You want to eat your dinner early, and you don't want to eat a lot after dinner. I cheat a little bit. We have these fruit bars that we get at Aldi. They're just really good. So I have a fruit bar, right? So it's okay, all right? Now, the other place that I cheat, and I don't think it's really cheating. I think it's just living your life, right? Is that once a week, so we'll have the protein dinners, but once a week we'll have some pasta. Or once a week we'll have pizza. Like, we love pizza. So once a week we'll do that. And then another night during the week, we'll go out to dinner, right? So on a Friday night or a Saturday night, we've got about 5 restaurants in the area. We'll go out to dinner. And I'll have a healthy dinner now in terms of the food I eat, but I will have a couple of draft beers. There's some really good IPAs and so forth here in North Carolina. So I will actually have 2 or 3 draft beers at dinner. So you got to live your life, right? So it's not like I'm so strict that being miserable. No, I look forward to those. It's really fun, and I enjoy it. So that's the second big thing, is the diet. First thing was making sure my workouts weren't elevating my cortisol levels so high that I was in constant recovery mode. And then second of all was diet. Third, what and this is something that it should have dawned on me a long time ago, and that is supplementation. At 69 or at 60 or even at maybe 50, our bodies are not producing what they did at 20, 30, and 40, right? Naturally. We need to give it some supplementation. On top of the whey protein, I've got some other things over here. This right here is called Build. Now, Build is a creatine, okay? I never had taken creatine before. I did some research on it. I not only from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint, creatine is very good for you. This is 5,000 milligrams or 5 grams of creatine. It's a powder. You put in a glass of water, you down it, you're done, right? Creatine. I have that with my protein shake when I get home, okay? So I don't do this in the morning. I do that when I get home. I also have, on an empty stomach, I do this before I go to the gym, Surge, right? Surge is amino acids. Amino acids are so very important, and we don't get it all from our diet, of course, right? So amino acids. So I take this before I go to the gym. When I get home from the gym, it's the creatine. And then gut health. Gut health is so bloody important. And I've had issues with my stomach. I've been diagnosed with leaky gut, right? And, had some times when, bowel movements weren't happening so perfectly, right? Colonoscopies have been fine, so nothing serious there. But gut health, this is called Accelerate G3. And there's a lot of great things in here. I'm not going to get into it. If you want to find out more, absolutely, I'm going to put a link to an article on the website, myvitalityreboot.com, that you can click that link and go and read, and there's going to be links to different pages where you can find out about these products, etc. And then one more. Now, this one was like, really, do I need this? This is Lux Liquid Collagen Peptides. Didn't know anything about liquid collagen or even peptides. But what someone shared this with me, it is about skin, so making you look younger. Hey, listen, I know women want to look younger, but I do too, right? So skin, nails. Guys, listen, I'm telling you, about a year ago, I had some fungus on my toenails. It freaked me out. Now I got rid of it. I don't want it anymore. So nails are important, not only your toenails, but your fingernails. When I've been clipping my fingernails and noticing they're more brittle than they used to be. So it got my attention. But what really got my attention is when they told me that the Lux Liquid Collagen Peptides was also good for joint health. There you go. Knees. My knees are not great. Okay. I really can't run anymore. I mean, if I had to in an emergency, I would run, but it would be painful and I would pay for it later. So that's super important, is joint health. And some of you maybe have shoulder issues. I, thank goodness, don't have those issues, or issues with your toes or whatever joint issues that you particularly have. So supplementation. These are products I all take. It's from a company called Believe. Now, if you want to find out about Believe, it's not like I did a lot of research and found Believe. A friend of mine started that company a few years ago. When I say friend and colleague, and I actually do some work for them. I MC some of their events. In fact, next week I'm going down to Orlando to MC their 4th event. So it's a very well-established company. Scientists all over the place. I'm actually going to be leading a medical advisory board on stage. These guys have credentials up the wazoo. It's quite amazing what they have assembled from an expert standpoint to oversee the production of these products and what these products can do for people. So I'm a big believer in Believe. Again, you can go to the website and you can click on I'll put the link to the specific post on the website about what I'm talking about, and then the different products you can click on. You can go and see and read more. And if you want to obviously order any of these, you'll find the way to navigate to do that. And listen, let me say this. If you like this kind of content, you like this kind of conversation about, hey, we're getting older, we need to pay attention to things, and this is some things that maybe I'm 5 years ahead of you, 10 years ahead of you, and I've just done the homework, and maybe this is benefiting you. If you like what I do, give me a like and subscribe to the channel, because right now this is the second video on the channel, because this is all new for me. But I hope to be doing a video a week. There's a lot on the website, though. There's probably about 20 to 25 posts about different things on the website that affect men over 50 that might be helpful for you. But there's going to be more and more and more videos. So I hope you like what I shared with you today. Remember, it's your workout. First of all, if you don't work out, you should. If you work out and you're working out too hard, you might want to tone it down. Then it's your diet. High protein, in the article, I put how I cook my chicken, and it's really good. So your diet, and then supplementation. We need help. Our bodies are not producing what they used to produce naturally, so we need help. So hopefully this was helpful. Enjoy your day. Take good care. I'll be back at you very soon. Bye now.